Hi, I'm Leo, and these are the most important new features in AbleSet 3.1. Let's start with a new feature called AbleSet QES. This is a VST plugin that you can drag on any track and that automatically speaks cues for songs, sections, and count-ins. I'm just going to create a new track. I'll call it QES, and I'll drag this new VST onto it. The VST window contains the currently spoken phrase, so this is currently empty. And to get started, we can now jump into Settings, scroll down to Cue Settings, and now we can decide what we want this plugin to announce. So that could be song titles, including song descriptions. We could also speak song stop descriptions. We can speak section titles as we jump around. Those can also include section descriptions. And we can also count in sections during playback. And you can see as I enable more options, we get more fine-grained options to customize the behavior. Now, as I jump around the song.
Verse, chorus, verse 2. Crossings, verse 1, test description.
We can hear the VST automatically announcing the current song and the section. I'll turn off the section titles for now, so we don't get interrupted while I jump around the set. And now let me show you what the count-ins sound like. So I currently have a 2-bar count-in, and that sounds like this.
Verse 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
If I were to loop the current section, it would sound like this.
Loop 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And if I were to jump to a completely different section while playing, then it would sound like this.
Bridge 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And this also works with the automatic jump syntax. So I could add a jump to the bridge here, and that would be correctly announced.
Bridge 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, these count-ins can be customized per song and per section by adding attributes to locators or section clips. So, for example, if I wanted to shorten the count-in for the chorus, I can add C:1 in square brackets, and that shortens it to 1 bar.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
Or I could also disable it completely by writing C:0. And I could even double the length using C:1, HS, which stands for half speed.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
And I can combine these however I want.
Chorus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There are lots of customization options, and I will add a link to the documentation in the description below. Going back to the Cue settings, there are currently 6 different voices that you can choose from. 2 of them are generated locally on your computer, and that is Jenny.
I'm Jenny, a locally generated voice.
And your Mac's default voice, so that could be Siri, for example.
Hey there, I'm your Mac's default voice.
AbleSet also offers online text-to-speech. These require an internet connection once to generate the phrases, but once these are generated, it also works offline.
Hey there, I'm Sophie.
Hey there, I'm Martin.
Hey there, I'm Sarah.
Hey there, I'm Jacob.
And you can also add your own custom voice. To do that, I'm just going to open the AbleSet folder by opening the settings menu and then clicking on Open AbleSet folder. Then I'm going to go to the cues folder, and I currently have a folder called Karen here, which contains cues recorded by Karen from Enable.
Band, bass, break, bridge.
And to use those for my count-ins, for example, I can just rename this to Custom. And now the count-ins sound like this.
Chorus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The next new feature is the Devices page. You can reach it by pressing this button here at the top. And this is basically a hub of all devices that are connected to AbleSet. So this can be AbleNet devices, those can be audio interfaces, browsers, and also OSC clients. Let me open a new Safari window to show you what the Devices page can do. I can now click on any of these browsers. In this case, this is called Playback Safari. And this gives me a bunch of options that I can remote control. So for example, I could lock this browser. I could even hide the lock button or lock the navigation completely. I can also show a message. And I can show some cue lights if I want to grab the attention of whoever is using this device. I can also remotely switch the page, so I could switch to the performance view here. And I can also reload the browser in case something is going wrong. This is especially useful for remote controlling devices on stage while you're not on stage yourself. And speaking of devices, I've also released a new app called AbleSet Connect for iOS and iPadOS that allows you to automatically connect to AbleSet on the network and extends it with device-native features. So let me open it here. You'll see it starts looking for AbleSet on the network, automatically connects to my MacBook, and now I can use this as I would use it in Safari, for example. Now, if I go back to the devices page on my Mac, I can see my iPhone listed here with the current battery state, so it's not charging and at around 45%. And if I click on it, I can also remotely change the screen brightness if I wanted to. AbleSet Connect always keeps your screen awake, so it never locks automatically by accident. Another feature of AbleSet Connect is the ability to connect a MIDI controller to your iPhone or iPad and forward it to AbleSet over the network. To set this up, I'm just going to go to Settings. Then you'll see that AbleSet Connect has a dedicated section at the top. I'm going to click on MIDI forwarding. And now you see that there are two options. Native MIDI forwarding forwards MIDI controllers directly to AbleSet. This works automatically, you don't have to set anything else up. And RTP MIDI forwarding can forward MIDI from connected devices to any software or device that supports RTP MIDI. I'm going to connect a MIDI controller here that has 4 ports. And you'll see them pop up here. And now I can go ahead and just add MIDI mappings, for example. So let me go to Settings. Scroll down to MIDI mapping, edit MIDI mapping, and you'll now see these 4 ports forwarded to AbleSet. I could add these MIDI mappings here, but I can also do it on my desktop. So I'll just go over here, go to Settings, scroll down to Edit MIDI mapping. I see the same ports here, and I can now add a new mapping. So for example, let me just press a button, and that automatically adds the mapping here, and I can assign it to anything I want. Now I can use this MIDI controller to wirelessly control AbleSet through my iPhone.
Chorus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This feature also works with the Oakboard Floor Vista, by the way. So if you connect it to your iPhone or iPad, it will automatically synchronize the setlist to its display and set up MIDI mappings so you can start using it right away. If you want to learn more about AbleSet Connect, I will add a link in the video description. Next, let's take a look at Canvas. The first new feature is the ability to scroll the song progress bar. So to enable this, I'm just going to enable the scrollable option. And now I can just scroll through this progress bar. I can also set a zoom, so I could choose 100% or maybe just 70% to make it a bit smaller. And if I go back into the Canvas view and I start playback,
Chorus 2.
you'll see that it automatically scrolls to keep the playhead in the middle. The next new feature is visibility conditions. These allow you to dynamically show or hide an element based on any condition you want. So to demonstrate this, let me just add a new label. And let's call this loop is active. I'm just going to make it a bit bigger and give it a nice background color. Let's maybe use some indigo. And I'm going to place this in the top left corner of the lyrics. Now, to dynamically show this element while the loop is active, we can go to the visibility condition and enter a template here. This is the same syntax that you would also use for a label template or any other kind of template. So I could add OSC / setlist / loop enabled. And now this element only shows when the loop is enabled. Now when I disable the loop, you'll see that this element slightly fades, but it doesn't disappear completely. This is just so we can still edit it when it's not visible. If we want to hide the element completely, we can click this button, and that hides hidden elements completely. And now if we go to the canvas view, we have an element that shows us if the loop is active or not. And last, let's look at new features in the setlist view. And the first new feature is that songs now stick to the top of the page. So if I have some songs expanded here, and I scroll down, you'll see that the song title always sticks to the top of the page. So you can see which song these sections belong to. AbleSet can now also display the starting measure of each section. You can enable this by going to Setlist Settings and toggling the Show Section Measures option. And this uses the measures track of your song. And last, you can now also copy and paste song and stop descriptions. To demonstrate this, I've opened a note. Let me go to the setlist editor, press Command-C to copy, and then Command-V to paste this here. And you'll see that stop descriptions as well as song descriptions are copied here. And if I wanted to make a change, so for example, I want to add a description here, and also add a stop description here, I can just write those in here as well. Copy this, paste it in AbleSet, and now they're added here as well. Now this video only covered the most important new features. If you want to see a list of all new features, improvements, and bug fixes, check out the link in the description below. Let me know what you think of this new version, and I wish you a great day.